So welcome to today's practice, which is called Summon and Surrender. And I have written this practice specifically to tie in with some things that I have been working on in my everyday practice and life. And it's designed to help you make a conscious choice between your emotions. So what I want you to do is get an awareness and a grounding of this during this session, and then maybe take this as an invitation to practice this new skill afterwards when we're not in our meditative state. Because we can so often get caught up in the mind when we're out there living our daily lives and the narrative of common stories we tell ourselves. And what that does is it feeds familiar emotion, and that doesn't mean that that emotion is necessarily a pleasant one. It can just feed things that we're used to feeling, even if those emotions are unpleasant or unwanted. But what I want to do here is cultivate this skill of actively making a choice to reach for the better feeling. And that is because it has so many great impacts for our well-being. So obviously when things are happening, we do obviously need to have an emotional response to understand whether we like that thing that's happened or not. But it's about moving on at a time and pace that's healthy for us. And the way we're going to do this is in the first part of the session, we're going to look at practicing how to focus specifically and then more generally on different states and parts of the body, so we can cultivate a sense of detachment, which is really what we're looking to do today, noticing how each of those stages makes us feel. And then we're going to move to observe the same effects on an emotionally live situation or area of our lives, and we will focus on the way this makes us feel. We're going to notice that we can consciously choose this feeling, and then I want to guide you in the final part of the session to detach completely. So this can be very tricky for us as rational, analytic beings, as we tend to believe we can only resolve things through thinking about them, justifying them, discussing them, applying judgment to them, applying solutions or trying to find solutions to them. But if this hasn't worked in this situation so far, it's likely time to step back, detach and let go. Or even if it's not quite time, it's nice to give us some respite from that condition happening in our lives, so we can just reduce those stress levels and just feel a little bit better in this moment about that thing. It can also be challenging though, because if we do that, our brain starts to worry. But what if this thing that I want, this desire, simply disappears if I detach? But this is about looking at the situation more holistically, so we can get in the purest state where we can allow it to happen. We hear this so many times, don't we? People saying, oh, I really wanted this thing, and then as soon as I let go, it happens. This is what we're trying to cultivate here, because when we make peace with and simply allow ourselves to be in the state we're in at this moment, that's when things can start to actually move for us, and we notice change and coincidence and cultivation of our desires. So let's give it a go, notice the effects and see what shows up for us, and see if we can apply this as our homework throughout the week, the weeks ahead. So let's make a start on today's session in getting ourselves set up for the best possible practice today. Simply take a position that is comfortable for you today, that will allow you to relax as much as possible, and then sink into the space that you've chosen, closing the eyes and just allowing yourself to be here now. So once you're set up, close the eyes, and if you don't want to completely shut off that external response yet, you can just soften the gaze towards the tip of the nose. And let's arrive. Let's just enable ourselves to be a bit more present in this moment by taking the deepest breath we've taken all day. So breathing in, feeling the belly, the chest, the collarbones expand, and sigh that out with an audible sigh if you are comfortable to. And take 2 more of those, or as many as you feel you need to, just to feel that adjustment of arrival into this moment. Just notice the effects of that. And as you just gather yourself here, meeting yourself where you are, just feel into what's here today. How does the body feel? How do you feel right now? How have you been feeling today? You've probably been feeling many things if you're anything like me and my experience of today. But can you recall what was the best way you felt today, and what was that in response to? Did somebody make you laugh? Or perhaps you were thinking about someone or a pet, or appreciating something lovely outdoors, or one of your treasured possessions. Was it one of those random, spontaneous feelings of joy, the first sip of something this morning, or a nice memory? Have you had any of those experiences today, even if briefly? And now feel into your body. How does it feel? And use your shoulders as a gauge for your stress level. So just notice how tense they are, or not. And just notice this. You don't have to change anything. You can meet yourself where you are today. So just notice what your shoulders are doing. And now let's bring the breath into the lowest part of the body that we can manage now. So the lowest part of the torso. What do you need to do that, and how does it make you feel? And start to establish your own pace and rhythm for your body and breath today. So just easing into that. If you wish to, you can bring the hands to the belly to just add another physical layer to that experience, to really get you into the body, into this moment. But you don't have to. You can simply start using your determination, your awareness, to focus the breath into the deepest part of the body, and noticing what you have to do that, which is deepening and lengthening the breath. And perhaps you can notice how the body responds as you do that, how the mind responds. And just start settling into your own pace and rhythm now. Good. And now just maintain that rhythm. Just allowing the body to take over a little bit. Now you've encouraged it into this relaxation response. And we're going to start rotating our awareness around the body. So I'd like you now to bring your attention to your left foot. So just hold the sensation, the awareness of your left foot in your observation now. And now hold in your awareness your right foot. And notice if that feels any different. But now, hold both of them in your awareness together. And what do you have to do to focus on the two together? How does it make you feel? And now let's bring that awareness to the left hand. All of your attention in the left hand, noticing the temperature on the bare skin, noticing anything at all about the left hand as you hold that in your full awareness. And now do the same for your right hand. Again, feeling the temperatures, feeling any difference at all, if any. And now focus on both together. And what do you have to do to bring that intense focus to the two together? And how does it make you feel? And now bring your awareness to your left shoulder. Holding the left shoulder in your full attention and awareness. Good. And now bring that focus to the right shoulder. Noticing the difference there. And then focus on the two of them together at the same time with the same level of attention. And what do you have to do that? And how does that make you feel? And now finally, let's focus on the left side of the jaw, an inch or two down from the earlobe. Holding that in your full attention and awareness. And now let's focus on the right jaw. Again, an inch or two down from the earlobe. And now focus on the two of them together and notice what happens as you do that. Notice if they separate and how that makes you feel and what happens to other parts of your body as you do that. Perhaps the breath gets deeper. And now let's bring that observant sense of awareness to the point between the eyebrows. And then allow that awareness to sink deeper and deeper into the mind, into the brain. And then allow your awareness to skim with this observant consciousness the left side of the brain. Just scanning around the left side of the brain. And then allow it to skim the right side of the brain. And what's the difference between the two as you bring your conscious observation to these different sides? Can you notice a distinct difference between those left and right hemispheres? And now, allow that awareness to be level and central now, between these 2 points and deep within the center of the brain. So lining it up so it's completely balanced between those 2 spots, and notice how that feels. And what you might have noticed as you've rotated your awareness around the different sides of the body and then focused on the 2 areas together, that you have to mentally detach, and you start observing without judgment when you have to take both in together. So resting in that deep central spot in the center of the brain now, stay with your observant, detached awareness there. And notice how that makes the body feel. Notice how that makes your emotions react. And notice if the mental state is a little calmer. And the mind may want to reach for something from here, but just bring it back to this deep central spot. Patiently, with kindness. And notice as a whole, does the body itself feel heavier in the chair or on the floor now? And now go a little bit deeper into that sense of detachment and notice the whole body here. Taking a step back, noticing the whole body from head to feet. And just rest there for a moment or two now. So we're going to move to using this same method to explore something that's meaningful to us in our lives in the same way. So the things that personally matter the most to us, that we have active in our thoughts and emotions. So just notice, now the body has detached a bit, how it is breathing for you. So we need different in to out breath ratios at different times of the day and in accordance with our stress levels. And our body is so clever at automatically doing this once we detach a little bit. So just notice what's happening now to the breath. And then follow that next in-breath with that detached observation to a deeper place within yourself. So allowing your intuition to kick in a bit here. Where's best for you? What does that mean for you to go a bit deeper by following the breath? Is it somewhere in the lower part of the torso? Is it the heart? Just allow the next breath to take you somewhere where you can observe yourself in a more detached way. To a state of awareness somewhere deeper in the body. Where we go beyond the constraints of the physical for just a moment, just allowing ourselves to go there and noticing how that feels. And for a moment, just rest there and watch and notice. Good. And now from this place, I want you to bring to your awareness from this place a deep desire you have for your life. So this is something you want. Because you have an understanding, it will make you feel better if you have it. Perhaps something you find a little challenging to obtain, or something that's always on the forefront of your mind. And as you summon that experience as it is for you right now, notice how that makes you feel. So that might have just taken you away from that lovely sense of alignment for a moment. So let's just indulge this for a second and instead choose the best possible way we can feel about this experience. So releasing what's happening now, the reality of it, but allowing instead the feeling of what it would feel like to successfully experience this to flood you now. So really indulge this, really go with it. If you were to live this experience, how does that feel? And stay with this, indulge it, maybe starting to pick out some specific feelings about this. Some specifics from the range of feelings here, like trust or harmony or abundance or home or wholeness, joy, fun, expression, conversation, appreciation, satisfaction. What does it feel like? And now really indulge this, stay with this feeling, and I'll be quiet for a moment as you do that. And stay with it a little longer now, really capture that wave, really ride that wave. And now bring that feeling deep into the body now, to the place where you focused your awareness and breath, really grounding that into your experience, bringing it as deep as you can with your breath, breathing it into this deep spot so that you can internalize it, so this feeling becomes part of you. And then again, stay with that for a few moments. Feel the wholeness and completeness. And how you don't need to do anything to feel whole or content and satisfied. You can conjure that in the moment as you are now. Keep breathing that feeling deep into the experience of you. And as you do that, know that you have a choice every day between these two states of being, between your emotions. You can acknowledge the heavier feeling, thought and emotion, because that will confirm to us this thing is still important to us and that we want it. And that's a good thing to confirm. But we can also choose to feel the best possible way we can feel about this. Hopeful, expectant, already experiencing it because we know already it's going to happen. And now, just for a few moments, I'd like you to sink a little bit deeper now, below any feelings and emotion at all, to a feeling of absolute detachment. You've indulged and engaged with the experience of this desire now, and so you can release and surrender it. And as you just sink a little lower, detach even more. Allow that to be where it is. You can allow it to unfold in the way it's meant to. without trying to capture it or make anything happen. So sink beyond again. Step away from it and just be, with no thought, no feeling, just this sense of you here as you are, the detached, observant watcher, sinking into this now. And let's just stay there for 1 or 2 more precious moments. Okay, now let's just leave that as it is and try and bring that lovely sense of detachment with us as we gently allow ourselves to come back now and swing back up through the layers of our awareness, bringing that sense of detached observation with you, noticing first the body and how it breathes, noticing the points of connection between you and the floor or seat. And then noticing the emotions now. And then the thoughts. And how do you feel overall now? Okay, and now let's just bring some very gentle movements back to the body. Allow yourself to take any small intuitive movements that feel nice, having a nice stretch, gently waking the body up, and then when you're ready, if you're lying down, roll over to one side and bring yourself back to sitting. And then all of us, when we're ready, gently and slowly blinking the eyes open and taking our time, no rush. Notice how you feel now. And that's the end of today's session, so thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it.